Hi everyone, my name is Brian, and Brian Warmer that is, and I am a leader an Awana leader that is at PCF, Patterson Christian Fellowship in Patterson, California. Now, for some of you that don't know what Awana means, it's actually short for Approved Workmen Are Not Ashamed, and that is found in 2 Timothy 2:15. Now, as far as I know, because I read up on it a little bit, Awanas was started about the 1950s. Was started around the 1950s, and ever since then, Awanas has gone from being just an organization and club for kids here in the U.S. to one that's international. So it's all over the world. Now, Awanas has originally had, from what I understand, from what I know, from my own experience as an Awana, not as Awana, but as an Awana kid, excuse me about my messing up there, but my experience as an Awana kid, there was 3 main clubs. And those clubs were Cubbies, Sparkies, and at the time, Pals and Pioneers, and Chums and Guards. Nowadays, Awana is actually grown into having more clubs within it. For example, I didn't know about this because I read up about it though. Back when I was a kid, there was a group called Junior Varsity and Varsity. Nowadays, those groups have different names, just like Chums and Guards and Pioneers and Pals have different names. For example, Pioneers and Pals and Chums and Guards today are known as Truth in Training. And Junior Varsity and Varsity are known under different names like Trekkers, I think Trek, Journey, and basically 24/7 ministries. In other words, Awanas doesn't just stop at a certain age group, it continues on. And the age group it goes from originally was preschool to 6th grade. Nowadays, it's expanded even more. Because nowadays, there's a new group in Awanas called Puggles, mainly aimed at 2-year-olds. Now, I don't know exactly what Puggles does with 2-year-olds for Awanas and how they teach them, but that's the first group in Awanas. The next group, of course, is Cubbies, which is 3 to 4 years old, and that's preschoolers. And to me, in my own personal opinion, it helps kids, helps the 3 to 4-year-old preschoolers, not only learn what God has done for them, and what He will do for them, and what He expects from them, but it also prepares them for when they go into grade school and start doing homework themselves. Because believe it or not, the Cubbies do have homework, even though they got a week to do it, and that's just to memorize a verse of the week, of that certain week. Memorize the verse from a story that's related to it out of the Bible, and then repeat that verse the following week. The same goes with clubs like Sparkies and Youth in Training. Once you get a verse, you got to memorize it throughout the week, come back the following week, tell it to your leader, and then you'll get a reward. And I guess the same goes with Trek, Journey, and 24/7 Ministries. Now what those are, what Journey and Trek is aimed at is junior high. 24/7 Ministries, which I think is a combination of all that, is aimed at the high schoolers. And I think that's where Journey begins. I'm not really sure, but I think that's where it begins. I have to look it up again. But that's basically how far Awanas goes. Nowadays it goes from 2-year-olds all the way up to the 12th grade. But Awanas is to help, but basically what Awanas does is it helps kids of all ages, like I said, from 2-year-olds up to seniors in high school, learn about what God has done for them and will do for them, and what is expected from them from God, or what God expects from them as well. That's what Awanas is about. And like I said, when you look at a group like Cubbies, it helps those kids learn or take that next step to when they go into grade school and start getting the homework, so they don't have to worry about wondering, okay, why do we have to take this home and do it? They'll know that this, as Cubbies, by memorizing these verses, that is the first step. I mean, the Sparkies and the Truth in Training and the 24/7 and the Journey and the Trek, they already know all this, so it's no problem for them. But the Cubbies, like I said, it's a stepping stone for them. It helps them learn, not only, like I said, what God has in store for them and what He expects from them and what He's done for them, it also helps them take that next step to when they get into a grade school and start doing homework and bringing homework home to do. I'm sorry if I didn't make any sense there, and I'm sorry if I'm saying things I shouldn't sometimes, but I'm just trying to explain to everyone what Awana is about. And like I said, overall, what Awana does is it teaches, like I said, kids from 2-year-olds to 12 now, to 12th grade, what God has done for them, what He has planned, and what He expects from them. Now, like I said, I should know all this from my own personal experience because I went through all 3 phases of Awana: Cubbies, Sparkies, Pioneers, and Pals. And it was and those were the best moments of my life back then. And I think and I believe it'll be the best moment of your kid's life if you ever get them involved in Awanas. But that's all I can really say about what Awanas is and what it's about. I can say that when kids come in, they actually get to play some games at times. They do sing songs. There are lessons to be learned before we get split into groups. We say the Awana pledge. It depends on what kind of pledge you do, which is either to the Bible or to the Awana flag. And if you do the Awana, and if you do the United States pledge, that's great. We haven't done it yet. We probably will in the next year or so. But that is exactly, like I say, what Awanas is about. And as for me, as a leader at PCF, Patterson Christian Fellowship, it's sort of new for us. We're just starting out, and possibly by next year we might be even bigger. Maybe not. Because right now our main groups are Cubbies, Sparkies, and Truth in Training, and that's it. But that's all I can say about, like I said, what I know about Awanas and what it's done for me and what it's about. And if you got any comments, and if you have Awanas in your group, and if you do Awanas and you're here on the YouTube page, just leave me any comments if you have them, and I will talk to you all whenever I can. But so until then, I'm leader Brian Walmer of the Patterson Christian Fellowship Awanas, saying God bless you all and take care.